First thing I want to do is give credit. The inspiration for this sermon came to me about 20 years ago. An article in the Canadian Lutheran. It was written, I believe, by, at that time, their synodical president, and it was a great article, and it really moved me, and I based this sermon on that particular article, so I do want to give credit where credit is due. Something happened to me about 20 years ago, and it really caused me to think about this time of year. It's kind of embarrassing that it happened to me, but it did. I must admit, I'm a Christian man, but I thought what I thought, and I said what I said, and it happened as my wife Sylvia and I discussed where we were going to put the Christmas tree that year. Okay, where are we going to put the Christmas tree? At that time, Jessica was about 1. So we're talking 20 years ago, right? And she did what all 1-year-olds do. Whatever she got her hands on, she covered it with spit and destroyed it, right? And, Sylvia had motherly concerns about the Christmas tree, of course, right? Where are we going to put... And Sylvia, very practical woman, it's going downstairs. And I'm like, but we never go downstairs. Not only did it go downstairs, but it went in the back room of the basement. So you had to go down 8 stairs, and we never went downstairs. Then you had to walk through a room, and then you had to walk into another room, and you had to look to the back of that room, and there in the corner of that room was the Christmas tree. Might as well have been in storage, right? We store it there every year. That's where it was. And I began to really miss that tree. I'd walk in, and I'd want to see a tree lit up and everything. I didn't see a tree. And you'd think that Christmas meant more to me than a stupid plastic tree, right? It wasn't even a real tree. But I just couldn't shake the feeling that something was missing every time I walked in. And, after about a week of my pouting, my wife gave me a loving but strong rebuke and said, you of all people should know that Christmas is about God sending his Son, Jesus Christ, into our world and not about a tree. Good for Sylvia. Amen. Yes, I was taught quite the lesson. Amen for my wife. But I was left pondering some important questions, and I like preaching this sermon a little before Christmas because I think it's important to equip you for this particular season, to be able to share your faith. To share your faith with people who need the message that is out there but is perverted out there. Okay? It's out in the world right now, but it's a perverted message. And we have the real message. And so I want to share it with you now so that you can bring it into the relationships of people that really need it. I started asking myself some questions. Would it be Christmas without a tree? Would it be Christmas without the lights and the glitz and the glamour? And then I got a little deeper and I said, would it be Christmas if I didn't have any money to buy gifts? Would it be Christmas because we at the time lived in Saskatchewan? That's a long way from here. Would it be Christmas without my mom and dad, or Sylvia's mom and dad, sitting across the table from us? Right? Would it be Christmas without those family gatherings? I want you to consider something with me this morning. A tree was missing from my life one Christmas. What about those who are really missing something important this Christmas, right? Christmas is the loneliest, most depressing time of year for those who keep track of such things. It is listed as the most lonely, depressing time of year. Believe it or not, okay? And my pout about the Christmas tree gave me an idea of why. I want you to listen to the words of some of the secular Christmas carols. Now, I am not saying for you to hate these Christmas carols. I'm not saying they're evil. I just want you to listen because I think they all carry a certain theme in them, and listen to them. Have a holly jolly Christmas, it's the best time of the year. I don't know if there'll be snow, but have a cup of cheer. Deck the halls with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la. Right? Don we now our gay apparel. You know it. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. From now on our troubles will be miles away. Dashing through the snow, laughing all the way. Ha, ha, ha. During this particular season, the world is encouraging us to look at things with rose-colored glasses, okay? And to pretend for just 1 month that everything is just wonderful. Right? That's the worldly Christmas. That's a Christmas that you are meeting out in the world right now from this time until the 25th. Right? Again, don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying you cannot sing those Christmas carols. I sing those Christmas carols. But we've got to be careful and we've got to be awake as Christians so that we do not associate Christmas with this empty happiness, this plastic tree, all these presents, and the right people in our house at that time. Christmas is not about pasting a smile on our faces because it's Christmas. Let me take you down a difficult road here. For many people, a holly jolly Christmas is never the reality. Okay? I think of families in our church that have lost a loved one this year. Okay? And they're going to be spending their first Christmas without someone they love. How do they feel when someone says to them the great big lie, Christmas is all about family? Oh, sorry, you don't have that. Christmas really isn't for you. Christmas is all about family. What do you do if you don't have your family? Is that what Christmas is really all about? As Christians, well, no, they're mourning. Death is a reality for them. 'Tis the season to be jolly. Just doesn't seem to fit, does it? No. I think of those who've received in our congregation some devastating news about a very uncertain future. Right? As they spend Christmas together, laughing all the way, ha, ha, ha. There are families that were together last year that aren't together this year. There are children that are spending Christmas with mom or dad, not mom and dad. How hard this Christmas will be for them. There are those whose businesses went under this last year. There are those that I know who are struggling to put food on the table. They are so far behind in their bills that this time of year is such a burden. It's a burden. Because Christmas is all about gifts and things and abundance and wealth. That Christmas out there. Right? Christmas is not about pasting a smile on our faces, friends. No. There are others that I know of who have doubts and fears, and they're struggling. They're going through crisis in middle life. There are others who have children that are really struggling. And they're constantly on their minds. Still others that are dealing with temptations and sins that they feel that nobody's ever going to understand. Especially at this time of year. Don't bring that up. Don't bring your tears into our party. Thank you very much. And I think it must be horrible to pretend you're happy when your heart's broken. I think it must be horrible to pretend that you're happy when your spirit is crushed, your world's been altered, your body's riddled with pain, you're lonely, you're grieving, or you're dying. And I believe that's the reason why this season has a depressing effect on many people, because it actually accentuates the hurt and the pain and the loss. And somehow, a season that demands that we be happy in the midst of all our pain seems just fake. Let me just say it just seems fake. Here's the good news. Here's the good news for you from God this Christmas, this season. Number one, you don't have to pretend. There's no pretending in this place. Okay? You don't have to pretend in the church. We've all but forgotten the great prophecy of the prophet Isaiah, who told us that Christmas is especially for those who are walking in darkness. Look at this beautiful passage from Isaiah. It's a Christmas message for us. The people walking in darkness have seen a great light. On those living in the land of the shadow of death, a light has dawned. Brothers and sisters, Christmas is especially for all those who have broken hearts. It's for those people whose spirits are crushed and whose bodies are shattered and decaying. It's for those people who are lonely and lost and doubtful and despairing. Christmas is about God seeing our world as it really is. Full of sin, full of evil, full of pain, full of loss, full of death, full of suffering, full of despair. That's reality. And Christmas is about God refusing to put on rose-colored glasses, but instead reaching into our world, His world, with His saving light and His saving love and His saving Son. And coming to save us. Christmas is about God choosing to embrace this world and come into your life. And come into your life. And come into the lives of real human beings who are struggling. God choosing to come to you and call you and love you in your sin. God choosing to call you and love you and call you out of your sin. God choosing to be with you in your despair. God choosing to deliver you and save you. That's Christmas, the real meaning. It's about a child who came to this earth from heaven to take away your sin, to bear it, to suffer with you and to suffer for you, to give you life in the midst of death, to give you hope in the midst of despair, and yes, to give you joy in the midst of your sorrow. Jesus never put on rose-colored glasses, ever. He saw this world just as it was. He saw people just as they were, full of trials, full of sins, full of loss. He did not come to save the righteous, but sinners. He loved them and He ate with them. He fellowshiped with them. And how easy, brothers and sisters, does that message get lost? You'll see it get lost. You'll see it just get washed away as you walk out in the world this next month. We must shout it from the rooftops. The world needs what we have this season. They need it desperately. You need it desperately. I need it desperately. They need it desperately. And we need to shout that message from the rooftops of what Christmas is really all about. We need to share it. Will this Christmas be a hard one for you? Well, God has a message for you this morning. You don't have to pretend. This season is for you. God's Son came for you. You heard that Santa brings gifts to good little girls and boys? Jesus has a list. Listen to Jesus' list. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. If you're feeling that heaviness, that darkness, that sin, that grief, that loss this Christmas time, let me start you off. Let me start you off by pointing you to the message that will truly carry you, not only through the next month, but through the rest of your life. Here it is. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, who is Christ the Lord. That's Christmas. Share it. In his name.